What's up, everybody? It's Dr. Jeff, filling in for Kim Terranova today. So this Facebook Live is called We Are the Miracle. And what we normally do when Rhythmia is open is every Saturday we have a guest that did really well during the week, and we interview them and see like how their whole process was, so you guys can get like a real perspective on someone's journey and how they went through the week and how things were. But because we're closed right now because of the pandemic, right? We're hoping to open real soon. You guys just stay posted. I want to talk about a couple things to get you guys ready for Rhythmia. And some of the stuff I want to talk about is like, what does it mean when we say I got my miracle, right? Or my wife would laugh at me because that's not the right English, right? I received my miracle. But to make it simple and fun, I got my miracle, right? What does that mean? Well, what it means is this. I was able to come down to Rhythmia, and I was able to prepare as best I could. And some people could prepare for months and months, and some people prepared for a day or two. I've had the whole range of different situations. I've had people that prepared for a year. I've had people prepared for 2 months. I have people prepared for a couple hours because they just had an opening, got on a flight, and came. So I just want you guys to know that whatever level of preparation you can do is okay. And what it means to get your miracle is that you've come down, you're intent on becoming whole with yourself. You want to reunite with your soul, which is what our number one intention is. So you want to get back to who you are as a person. Basically what you want to do is this. You want to see who you've become as an individual. And then you reunite with your soul, and then you can heal your heart. So what we really believe at Rhythmia, I just want to break it down for you. We believe that the purpose of life is to be born into this world, and we all have different circumstances. There's all these different sort of things that are happening for everybody. Families that we're loving, families that we're not loving, no family at all. There's all these different scenarios. And what we believe is that everybody, when they show up here, is reunited, is connected to who they really are as people. They're a whole. And then, because of life's circumstances and because of trauma and abandonment, and neglect and abuse, and all different range of things, some people have a great childhood, but they feel like they had to take care of themselves in certain ways. Again, it's a continuum. There's severity that's really hardcore abuse. Then there's less than that, which is just feeling, scared at school because they feel alone. Okay, so there's this whole range of stuff. But what ends up happening is people feel that it's not safe to be who they really are. So then they split from themselves. And in psychology, we call that dissociation. Not disassociation. Disassociation is separating myself from another person. So I disassociate from someone else. It means I'm away or abandoning them or staying away from them. But dissociated means that I'm unplugged and I'm not connected to myself. So then we go through life like this in a dissociated state. And things happen, we deal with it. Sometimes there's great times, there's other times that are not so great. But what ends up happening is we lose track of who we actually are as people. And what the goal of Rhythmia is to get you back reunited with yourself and have you plug back into who you really are as a person. And then to heal all the trauma you've been through and all the things you've gone through in your life, whether it's addiction or abandonment or failure in certain things or sadness or loss, and all this different stuff that's part of being a human being. Right now, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world. There's a lot of loss. There's a lot of hurt feelings. There's a lot of death and destruction and madness, right, going on. So how do we heal these things? How do we get through it? And how do we overcome these things? So we've developed a program at Rhythmia that helps people do this. And it's not only the plant medicine. That's a big part of it, obviously. That's why we're in Costa Rica, because we've been licensed to do this medically in a very safe way to do it. But it's also our classes. It's also the program that we have. It's the therapy. It's the counseling. It's the food. It's all of the things. It's a blue zone, the Costa Rica and Guanacaste, where our location is. It's the ocean. It's all these things combined to help people heal themselves. And it's the support afterwards through the Rhythmia Life program. It's all these things, right, that help people get plugged into themselves after they've seen who they've become. They realize, wow, that's not me, that's my ego. That whole thing that I've created is my ego. It's not really myself. That's not who I actually am as a person. And so now I want to be true to myself and be true to me and true to other people, and I want to be authentic. And then after that, I want to heal all the trauma that I've gone through. Now, when I was working in LA doing psychotherapy, what was happening is I was trying to do these same exact things. I was trying to help people see who they become, help people reunite with themselves and become plugged in and connected. And then I was trying to help people heal their trauma, their past stuff. But the problem is that I only saw these people for maybe 45 minutes or 50 minutes at a session for once a week if I was lucky. And it just was hard. And there wasn't, they go home and their environments were still the same. And it was brutal. It took a long time. Now, people that were really super invested in this process, they did pretty well, but it took them a couple years to do it. So if somebody was like being traumatized or had an addiction or all kinds of other stuff that's really rough to overcome, it can take 10 years, 20 years to get to a spot where you can do these three things, which is see who you've really become, reunite with your soul and connect and plug back into yourself, and heal your heart and heal the trauma, right? That's what life's about. And then once you're back to you, right, you're back to yourself. It's a beautiful thing because you can operate from a place of authenticity, and you feel good, and you don't want to hurt anybody, and you have lots of empathy for others. Now, empathy is an interesting thing. Empathy means that I can feel what somebody else is feeling. Now, again, I'm not that person, right? So obviously I can't completely put myself in their shoes exactly. Okay, but the difference between empathy and sympathy is that sympathy is intellectual. Sympathy is intellectual. Sympathy is I can understand that guy is going through a lot as a homeless man in Hollywood on the street. I understand that's probably rough and that sucks, and I don't like that he has to do that. That's sympathy, intellectual. Now, empathy is the feeling. I can feel it. I feel it. I feel the sadness. I feel the pain. I feel all the stuff that's going on. And if I can feel and have empathy for someone, that means that I don't really want anybody to ever be sad or hurt or upset because I feel it too. So all you guys that come to Rhythmia, you have this vibe about you. You're empaths and you have empathy. And so the way the world changes, and I've talked about this lots before on my other Facebook Lives I do Monday night, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, what I've talked about is if I heal myself and I connect to myself and plug into myself, then I can connect and plug into other people and help them feel loving too and loved, right? That's the goal. So we are the miracle is the topic of this, right? Because you guys are going to come down to Rhythmia if you haven't already been, or if you have, you're going to come back, again, if you want to go deeper and plug in, but you're going to come and down and you're going to see like what we're doing is helping shift the world to be a better place. That's what we're looking for. So I look forward to seeing you guys down there. And we're looking to see Kim Terranova next week, hopefully, back on this one. But I'm glad I got to talk to you guys and explain a little bit about what we do at Rhythmia. And Jerry is a visionary, and he's like a very smart guy, and he was totally screwed up. He was totally screwed up when I met him, but he was a badass dude, and he was committed. He wanted to change, and I never seen anybody so committed to change in my life. And that's what was intoxicating about working with him, is that he was so motivated. He was so into like what was happening for his own recovery and his own sort of life process. And, his family has benefited. He's benefited. The world has benefited because he got his act together and got focused on the reality of what's going on, not only for himself, but for other people. That's what we're trying to do at Rhythmia, And where there's great good, there's great opposition. So don't feel bad, you guys, if you're doing your work, you're trying really hard to get past things and overcome stuff and work hard at, overcoming your abuse or whatever. Where there's great good, there's great opposition. So if there's opposition, if I feel opposition, I'm like, wow, okay, I'm probably doing the right thing. Because I feel good in my soul. I feel centered. And I have this adversity coming at me, whatever it might be, cowards and people that are like, bad intended and darkness and whatever, it's a good sign. It's a good sign that like we're all doing the right things. We're moving towards the right sort of approach. Now, if I feel unsure about myself and not centered and I'm off balance, I'm not doing what I need to do in my own life, right? My own daily practice. I'm not doing that. Well, then I can get confused and I don't really know. But when I'm really centered with myself, I'm with my family, I'm with my friends, and I'm connected, I have an open mind and open heart to like help and give service and do what's right. And the adversity comes, and the cowards come, and the weak people come, and the confused and the lost and the spiteful come. That's a good sign to me that I'm going in the right direction. So, bring it on. Keep it coming. Darkness just shows that we're doing the right thing. Thanks, you guys. Pura vida. See you at Rhythmia. Aloha. It's hot out here. I'm in LA. It's 114 degrees where I'm at. Costa Rica is a lot cooler. All right, you guys. See you next week. If not, Kim Terranova is going to take it over. Thanks for watching.